Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, the creator of the Internet Sales 20 Group, and I am super excited to have Mr. Ralph Paglia here. And here's why, because Ralph is not just going to be a speaker, he is now a partner in this Internet Sales 20 Group, and he is a moderator. So Ralph, thank you so much for being part of the Internet Sales 20 Group. So what are your thoughts about being part of this?
Well, Sean, first of all, what sold me was I agreed to participate in the first Internet Sales 20 Group in Chicago, where magic happened. I'm not sure anybody could have predicted it, but the chemistry of the moderators and the speakers and the dealers that were in the room in Chicago has now become legendary. The magic that happened was in the inspirational motivation that each dealer received when they created a very detailed action plan when they get back to the dealership. I've had several dealers contact me since the Chicago event in October and report back to me on some very powerful successes that they've had. I'm looking forward to what's going to be going on in Dallas from March 19th to the 21st because of the powerful impact that we've already seen happen when Sean brings together the speakers, facilitators, instructors that will be there in Dallas. One of the things I want to point out is that the Internet Sales 20 Group is unlike any other seminar or conference that you've ever been to. I know because I've been to hundreds of them, and this one is truly unique. The amount of practical, day-to-day knowledge and tactical how to do it right now information that you're going to receive, internalize, and take back with you is phenomenal. It's unbelievable. Over the 3-day period, you're going to be introduced to ideas and concepts where you're going to find yourself saying over and over again, my God, how come we haven't done this in the past? This is time to get this implemented right now. So be sure to be there in Dallas at the Internet Sales 20 Group from March 19th through the 21st, where not only will we make magic happen, but more cars are going to get sold as a result of it.
Well, thank you so much for the insight, Ralph, but I want to just talk to everybody and just, you don't understand. I mean, like, go to YouTube, go to Vimeo, go to Internet Sales 20 Group, go to Automotive Digital Marketing, and there's highlight clips. Here's my impression, and this is from both I and Ralph have spoken to, numerous 20 groups over the years, is that I wanted to take the essence from an NADA, NCM, and these traditional 20 groups, but I wanted to put new age focus on it. So this event that we're going to have is going to have a major amount of field intelligence gathering. So Ralph, I want to have you discuss just for maybe a quick minute, because we only have a limited time here, is what was your thoughts at the 20 group in Chicago as far as all the field intelligence and the actual composites and how the audience reacted to, okay, this is not just a workshop, I'm just going to show up, sit down and listen to lecture after lecture, but they were actually analyzed. And that's what we're going to do in Dallas. We're going to analyze, a majority of the audience and then composite them. So what's the relevance of composite and how does it differentiate our event from anything else out there?
Well, quite honestly, Sean, it blew me away. First of all, when I first arrived at the Internet Sales Group, Internet Sales 20 Group in Chicago, I noticed that packets, Sean's team had created information packets for every dealership that was attending. It was amazing. They had, without requiring any effort on the part of the dealers, they had gone ahead and deployed technologies to measure everything from the dealer's reputation index to the amount of mentions that were being made about the dealership, to their social media impact, to mystery shopping and submitting lead requests and making phone calls. Every dealership not only received a report on where they stood, but it ranked them as part of the composite amongst all the dealers that were attending. This set the stage on day one for what became what's now a famous event in Chicago, the Internet Sales 20 Group. The other thing that really blew me away, and quite honestly, Sean, I got to compliment you on this, I have never seen a moderator or a facilitator do a more impressive job in making sure that every dealer created an action plan. Now, when I say action plan, I'm not talking about some pre-built list of to-dos. I'm talking about an actual dealership-specific action plan where Sean is going to make you. He's going to crack the whip like a personal trainer at the gym. In fact, maybe I ought to talk to Sean about this. But anyway, what he's going to do is he's going to not only make you create this action plan specific to your store, but you're going to identify not just the people that do each item, but who is going to be responsible to verify that they've completed the tasks to ensure that these action items get done. I was amazed. In fact, I was so curious that I reached out and I've spoke to a couple of dealers who were there and asked them, did you actually do the items on the action plan? And they've all told me, Yes. And the key was this man's ability to facilitate not just an action plan, but the commitment from your team who is in attendance to each check on each other. So you don't want to miss this event. The action planning, the composites, the amount of practical information, and not the least of which is listening to me debate J.D. Rucker on individual tactics, where we get up there on stage and we actually do a point-counterpoint on what the best tactics and strategies are for dealers. And what you're going to gain from that is not some prescriptive strategy, but you're going to listen to a couple of people that are doing this for hundreds of dealers, debate on which techniques work better, and in that debate, you come out the winner, having been an attendee.
Well, absolutely, I concur 100% with that, but I got to also give some credit to Miss Karen Bradley, because, you know, she was instrumental in creating the instructional design, kind of mirroring our Franklin Covey training and our certification. We wanted this workshop to be more than just an attendee, lecture, answer some questions, and not be able to go back to the dealership. So when we went into it, we began with the end result in mind. We wanted something totally different. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people were skeptical. They're like, Sean, are you crazy? Karen, you're crazy. It's the same exact day.
I was one of the skeptics. When Sean first approached me, and I agreed to do the first one in Chicago, I was very skeptical. But I was blown away. By the time we finished up on day 3, I mean, Sean's a witness to this. And it wasn't just me. It was JD. It was so many. Everybody was just saying, this has been a very special event. And the dealers who attended said that they got more from their time at the Internet Sales 20 Group than any other event of its type that they've attended. And it's a result of that chemistry, of bringing those right people together. And then, of course, as Sean's referring to, the fact that they laid out an agenda and they laid out a format that is based on some very structured and proven principles, which I think we've probably lacked at many other events, the implementation of that disciplined approach from, for example, the Franklin Covey team.
Absolutely. Now, one thing I also want to focus right now is that because we have this success in Chicago, the next one that we're going to do in Dallas is the benchmark is there. You know, people are expecting like phenomenal, because they were blown away in Chicago. They weren't expecting it. So here, I want to give them a little teaser.
Do you feel a little pressure here? Do you feel just a little bit of pressure?
No, because I got you on my team.
There you go.
So here's what you could expect in Dallas. We're going to be at the Renaissance Hotel, March 19th, 20th, and 21st. I want to just highlight some of the companies that are going to be part of this. I am so proud to share with you that the title sponsor is going to be KPA, and of course, our man JD Rucker is going to be back, and it's going to be like round 5 with you and him. Correct?
Yeah, well, this is where I go for the knockout.
You heard it here first.
So JD, beware, my friend, because when you come to Dallas, I'm taking the gloves off this time.
Okay, and then we also have for our platinum sponsors, I'm just going to highlight, not everybody, just a couple. We obviously have Cars Direct, we have Auto Vital, we have Carmercial, we've got Higher Gear. Robert Gruen did a phenomenal job, you know, last time, and he's back.
Yeah, you know, Robert Gruen is one of those guys where you don't really know how much vision and leadership this man has provided to the auto industry until you see him get up there and talk about customer relationship management. But there's one other comment I want to make. There were certain gems that happened in Chicago, and I hope we get this in Dallas as well. We had a discussion in Chicago, which was a very lively discussion. Everybody participated about third-party leads. It was one of the best, most progressive, most currently relevant discussions that I've heard in years about the subject of buying leads from these third-party lead providers. It was a lively discussion. I know that everybody walked away with a much greater appreciation for how we can sell more cars and make more money by using third-party lead providers the right way instead of the wrong way, and making sure we don't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
That's a visual. And I also want to definitely acknowledge somebody I have a tremendous amount of respect for, Mr. Peter Martin. You know, he's one of those sleeper agents because, you know, we've heard of Peter from Cactus Sky and Ask Patty, but man, when he hit the stage and he was talking about permission-based email and data mining, I mean, he floored me with some of the data. What are your thoughts about Mr. Peter Martin?
Well, first of all, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Peter Martin, and I'm going to say something that Peter probably won't say. He was actually one of the founders of Ask Patty, this concept of really structuring systems in a dealership to be female-friendly. But one of the things that impressed me the most about Peter is him and I got into a very lively debate about reviews, about filtering out negative reviews. And we all have egos in this business, but I will say this much. I acknowledged what Peter was suggesting had value, and at a certain point, he acknowledged that we should embrace the negative reviews when it's done properly. That's the kind of value you're going to get from Internet Sales 20 Group. People like Peter Martin, who've had such a tremendous amount of success and experience working with dealers, debating with people like me, I've personally handled over 100,000 leads and seen what happens to them. Blend that in with guys like J.D. Rucker, who are currently doing social media marketing for hundreds of dealers, and you've got a system for dynamic interaction with you there as the dealer, so where you come away with insight and knowledge and inspiration to make things happen and make your dealership more profitable.
Very well said. And here's the closing statement. You need to sign up now. It is December. I mean, all the speakers.
Yeah,
we're absolutely
I'm convinced. I'm going to tell you something. The buzz about this Internet Sales 20 Group, and you know, the one thing I will say though, Sean, is the name Internet Sales 20 Group. I don't know. It doesn't just roll off your tongue. But I'm going to tell you something. I predict that we're going to sell out the seats we have available in Dallas because of the magic that happened in Chicago and the buzz throughout the dealer network and the online community of automotive professionals. I know over at automotivedigitalmarketing.com and at dealerelite.net, that's what we're seeing is a lot of discussion and a lot of talk about how did that happen? How was Chicago so special? Well, you're never going to know unless you sign up today to be in Dallas before we sell every seat.
Well said again, Ralph. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you in Dallas. Wait a minute. I got one last thing. Who's your vote's going to last the longest on the mechanical bull?
The mechanical bull is always going to be one of the women. It always is one of the women that win. I don't know the physics of it, but I think it's the center of gravity thing. But it's always a woman who wins the mechanical bull. The best part is watching some people that you know and respect get knocked on their butts on that mechanical bull in Dallas.
Well, yeehaw. I'll see you in Dallas. Thank you.
Take care.